實拍實說，大地海外升學。
各位大家好啊！我哋今日會訪問嘅咧就係Department of English 嘅 Alison， 咁我哋同佢傾偈，知道咧個部門上高嘅課程啊各方面嘅。Hi, good morning, Alison. Thank you for the interview.
Hello, good morning. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. So, may I just ask you to introduce the department? Can you give me a brief picture of the department and why should students choose to study at the Department of English?
I'm very happy to introduce the Department of English here at Royal Holloway. We're very proud of what we've built as a department. I would say that there's two things really that make our department special. The first is our blending of tradition and innovation. Mm-hmm. So we care a lot about the history of English, where English has been the classics of English. So if you come study with us, you'll be learning, the greats, Chaucer, Shakespeare. I teach on the Shakespeare courses that we have here. Jane Austen, Charles Dickens, the kind of heavy hitters of English. But we also are really interested in where English is going. Mm-hmm. So what's the future of English?
Right.
So we make sure that students are exposed to a wide range of courses that will carry them forward into what they can do with English and what English as a discipline is doing in the world.
Right. So what does it mean, the English in the 2020s? You just mentioned about the future of English. Just tell me more about that.
Absolutely. So I think in the 2020s, what people are interested in is how English can speak to the wider world.
Right.
So, it's not just kind of this sceptred isle of kind of traditional England, although we still love those great works.
Absolutely.
We are looking to bring in a wider range of voices. So our modules will expose students to a really wide range of authors, of texts, we try to bring in women authors, we try to bring in, students might encounter Black American writers, writers from the global majority, from South Asia. And as I said, it's really about trying to blend that tradition and the innovative. And so, in 2020, it's all about bringing together voices that can show how English always has spoken to the wider world. So I think that's something that's really important to us. So that means in terms of our courses, alongside those classics, we also have courses like modules like literature in the digital or literature in the creative industries.
Right.
So exposing students not only to a wider range of voices, but also how they can carry that into the world.
Yeah, because that's the trend of the world nowadays,
Exactly.
I'm sure. So do you have anything to share about the scholars in here?
We have such wonderful students at Royal Holloway English doing amazing things in the world, and we've had some really strong links with Hong Kong students in our department. So for example, Mary Jean Chan was awarded the Costa Book Prize for poetry in 2019. Dr. Chan is also on the 2023 judging panel of the extremely prestigious Booker Prize. So some amazing things there. Also, one of our current students, Vera Yuan, recently won the 2022 Cosley Prize for Poetry.
Wow.
So some of our students are doing absolutely amazing things. And I would say that our student body in general is quite diverse. Every student is different, but we have a real range of students here coming from an enormous range of backgrounds, a lot of students coming from from countries like various Asian countries, as well as a lot of students from West London and from the south of England and from all over the UK.
Right. So that's a diverse community here, and I think the result is very promising.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what about the courses? Any special courses that they would like to share with us? And yeah.
Well, as I said, we have quite a considerable range of modules in the Department of English. Something that's very important to us as well is that sense of community. So we keep our course sizes quite small, but that doesn't mean that we have a limited range of modules. Actually, it's the opposite. Keeping our seminar groups small means we have to offer a more diverse range of module offerings. And as I said, you will be able to study the classics of English literature. In your first year, we really try to map out your course structure a little bit more so that students are really set up with what we know it takes to succeed, exposing students to a wide range of the genres, time periods, and styles that they might encounter in their studies of English. So from the medieval, from Old English, right up until now. And then as they move throughout their degree, there's more and more choice built into it. So the point when they're getting to their third year, it's almost entirely crafted by them. And in terms of the range of the kinds of modules that students might choose to study, especially by the time they're getting to second and third year, it's, we've got, as I mentioned, literature in the digital, literature in the creative industries. We've got queer histories. We've got, a very popular one is The Girl in the Book, which is kind of placing women and women's reading and women's writing. We have a lot of American literature courses. That's one of our very popular joint honors strands. And actually that's something that we're very proud of here at Royal Holloway English is the number of joint honors courses that we have on offer. There's actually a considerable range of joint honors. So English and drama, English and creative writing, English and film, English and digital arts. Just to name a few, there's actually quite a few different ways that students can craft their course to really bring together their interests.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's bringing along with an interest that would be even more amazing. So what kind of skills that would you like to develop for the students when we graduate?
Well, skills is something that we really emphasize as being the benefit of an English degree. English is all about building a set of skills that employers really value. So for example, communication is always a big one, both spoken and written. You're building those spoken communication skills in the seminar, but then, of course, crafting and composition is very important. And we, this is something that we build in every course, every module that you're taking here, but we also have built in some purpose-built courses designed to help develop those skills. So writing as a critic is a course that we ask all of our BA English students to take, and it's all about the kinds of writing that you would do in the world. So helping students build a portfolio of the kinds of writings they might do in potential future careers. Beyond that all-important communication skill, our graduates learn how to analyze, how to look at a problem, come up with a creative and innovative solution, and build a case for why it's the right one. These are the kinds of things that you're doing in essays all the time. It's argumentation skills, but it's so important when they go out into the wider world of work to be able to come up with ideas, communicate why they work, and provide evidence to back up why they're right. Other skills that are really important is being able to listen. It's part of communication as well, but it's something you build in the seminar room, and it leads then into being able to work collaboratively with other people, work in a team. So these are all skills that translate into almost any field of work that you want to go into. And it's for that reason that an English degree can open up so many doors and so many flexible doors as well. In a marketplace that's always changing, the jobs of the future are always changing, and they're really difficult to predict what it's going to be. Having a degree like English that builds a flexible skill set that can be translated into so many different fields is crucial.
Right, totally agreed, and they can be flexible in the future career. So my final questions will be, we talk about the skill set, etc. So that's the destination. Where usually the student goes after they graduate, where's the destinations?
So I always like to think of English as a multi-vocational degree. Some degrees there's one specific job at the end of it. And that can be really reassuring when you're a student, you know where you're going to go. But like I said, in this very flexible, ever-changing job market, it can actually be really limiting sometimes. What if that job's not there anymore when you're finished? So having something that actually opens as many doors as you're interested in and is in many ways self-driven. What is your interest? What do you want to go on to do? So in some ways it's difficult to paint just one destination. But instead, we might think of a whole constellation of options. A really big one is the creative industries.
Yes.
25% of people working in the creative industries are arts and humanities graduates. And this is an industry that's worth almost £116 billion in the UK.
Wow.
It's estimated that there will be about 900,000 new jobs by 2030.
Wow.
In the creative industries. So that's a big one that our graduates go on to do. But we also have graduates who go on into business, marketing, having that communication skills in business is so important. Education is also a big one, as well as publishing, writing, journalism. We often have students also go on to do conversion courses. So to become a lawyer, for example, or become a psychologist. A lot of students don't realize that they can do a 3-year English degree, reading the texts that they love, building a really important and really useful skill set, and then go on and add on an extra year of study in another field, and really hit the ground running in those fields. They love English graduates going in there because they do have that ability to write so well, to read and retain information so well.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you very much for the sharing, and I think the prospect are very promising, and yeah, that's really amazing. And nice talking to you.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Lovely to speak to you as well.
Yeah, thank you.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
有海外升學問題，即刻 WhatsApp 大地啦！